Hello Creative Minds community. Today I'm going to show you how to set up one of the children's favorite works, Sink and Float. It's something that's very easy to make from the things you already have in your house, and as I said, the children will really engage with this work. You'll need a container that's big enough to fit most objects that the children will bring. The important part is that it's deep enough so that when you fill it approximately halfway, it's very clear whether the objects will sink or float. I have two other containers. This one is labeled sink. I've just put a post-it on the back. That way, when you're ready to take it off the shelf and return it back to your kitchen, it's a very easy thing to do. This one says float. Now, do you need to label these containers? Not necessarily, but it's a wonderful opportunity for the child to start to associate this word sink with those letters. Most children very young know that S says S, and so it's very obvious to them just by this one letter, S, that this is where the objects that sink go. And then, of course, this must be where the objects that float go. When it comes to setting this up, I wouldn't put the water in myself. I would make a mark about halfway. You can put a piece of Scotch tape on, or you can draw it on with marker. And if you're setting up a shelf where the children are selecting this work, all you really need to do is to put the 4 bowls. And somewhere else I would put a washcloth or a sponge and a little pitcher. And then I would have the child, I would tell them, let's fill up the bowl till the mark. And then the child can take the pitcher and keep making trips back and forth until we have the appropriate amount of water. This has nothing to do with me wanting to not do the work or being lazy or not having enough time. Right away, this child is engaging in purposeful work. Walking with a pitcher of water, they're going to have to learn to move slowly and gracefully. They're going to have to learn not to fill the pitcher all the way to the top. And they're going to, in all likelihood, have to learn how to clean when they spill. It doesn't take long for children to learn how to successfully fill something like this with water. Once we've got everything set up, it's pretty straightforward. We're just going to take an object. I have a sea turtle. And when you're showing this work, you're going to have to show the child how to set it up the first time. And then as they try to do it themselves, you want to keep an eye on it and see where it is that they might need a little support. But this work is pretty easy to set up. So, do you think the sea turtle sinks or floats? He sinks. I'm going to give him a few shakes. Sink. How about my egg shaker? Sink or float? Floats. How about my hair clip? It sinks. Thought it was going to float back up. Now, where do we get these objects? I would hand the child a bowl and I would say, please go get some toys. Or you can give them certain parameters where they can go get their toys. Choose something from this room. One thing is, before they start, you have to say, please let me look at your objects before you start. Because you don't want them to grab a thumb drive or an adapter. You want to make sure everything that they put in is something that you approve of for this activity. But let them search for their own things. I have a lobster. Sink or float? Float. Now, as you're showing this just the first time, you're going to all of a sudden see your child reach for the work. And one of my truly wonderful teachers, when I was getting my Montessori training, she always threw out these little nuggets. And one of them that I remember is, as soon as your child reaches for the work, pull your hands away. So as your child wants to see this work, wants to try it, let them go ahead, float. It doesn't mean you can leave, because you have to show them the completion of this work. Little ring. Okay. Now, I'm not going to continue all the objects I've selected. That's 6. I'm going to go and I'm going to show you how to clean up. So this I would advise for you to carry. An older 4, 5, and 6-year-old can definitely carry this to the sink. You want to make sure that they've got a good grasp on it. And again, this is going to bring attention to their movement. Once that this bucket is empty of the water, the children can lay out the towel. They can dab it to make sure that it's dry. Once they've made sure that the objects are dry, they can then go and dry out the bowls. So you want to show them how to wipe the inside. Children usually have trouble with towels. I usually show them very carefully how to put their hands so that it covers, and then wipe. You also want to show them how to drape it over the edge to complete the task. They should also wipe out the big bowl that has been emptied of water. And then all of these things can go back on a shelf and be used again. Finally, here's another sorting exercise when the children return these objects to where they get them. So, I hope this has been a fun activity for you to plan, and your child will truly enjoy this. Especially, this is a great activity for outside if you have a porch. That way you don't have to worry if the water spills too much. Okay, see you again later. Bye-bye.